Hello YouTube and welcome to the Credit Boom channel. This is Angel and I come to you guys once a week to discuss everything related to credit education. It is my passion and goal to show and teach how credit works. No schools, no universities have ever taught credit. So guys, I'm taking that responsibility to share with you the struggles that I went through with my credit so you don't have to. Guys, please hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and that like button. This helps the channel grow and also helps me to reach out to a greater audience. Now guys, in this week's video, we're going to be discussing how to get approved for high limit credit cards. Now, a lot of my clients ask me, Angel, how do I get a high limit credit card? In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to obtain high credit limit credit cards. But first, we must understand what a high balance is and what a balance is. The high balance on a credit card is the highest balance you've ever owed on that credit card. Now, the balance is what you currently owe on that credit card. Now, in the first tip, I'm going to show you how to increase your credit limit to get higher credit card limits. And the first thing you need to know is that banks mimic what's on your credit report already. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have 3 credit cards. One has a credit limit of $300. The other one has a credit limit of $500. And the third one has a credit limit of $1,000. In this scenario, if you go to US Bank, Citibank, or Navy Federal, guys, which happens to be banks that offer high credit card limits, they will not give you a high credit card limit because they're going to look at your credit report and see the highest balance owed and the highest credit card limit you have. They will not give you that $15,000 credit card limit because the highest one happens to be $1,000 on your credit report. The banks will not over leverage or extend that credit amount because the highest limit on your credit report is $1,000. So what do we do to get high credit card limits? The first tip we can do to get higher credit card limits is to focus on the cards we currently have. Now, before you utilize this strategy, guys, you need to make sure you can do this financially. So you're going to get your highest credit card limit. In this scenario, it would be the $1,000. And I want you to get this card of $1,000 credit card limit, and I want you to spend 80% of the credit card limit. In other words, you're going to spend $800. Now, this is the key. Use 80% of that credit card limit and find out when is the statement date of that credit card. Find out the closing statement date. This is important, guys. Once you get this information, you're going to pay down this credit card and keep a balance of 2%, no more than 5%, before that statement date. Guys, if you don't do this, your credit score will tank because your utilization is going to increase to 80% and your credit score is going to go down. That's why I don't recommend this if you're not financially sound and you don't have the ability to pay off the credit card balance down to 2% before the statement closing date. Again, this strategy are for those that can do this financially, okay? Now, we're going to do this for 90 days. We're going to stack up that limit up to 80%, and we're going to pay it down to 2% before the statement date. We're going to do this for 3 months, okay? On day 91, we're going to call the bank, we're going to call this credit card, and we're going to ask for a credit limit increase. They will see your payment history, almost maxing it out to the limit, and paying it down to 2% for the past 3 months. You tell them you want to remodel your bathroom, or remodel your kitchen, or do some type of home improvement to the house, and that you're going to need at least $5,000 to $10,000 to do this. Going back to tip 1. Tip 1, making large payments is the key. They will see this and most likely approve your request. Now, another suggestion that I would recommend is whatever credit card you have at the time and you're asking for this credit limit increase, find out what the perks, what the bonus points are, what rewards they're offering. Get to know that information so when you ask and you talk to the representative, when you ask for the credit limit increase, you mention those. Hey, look, I like your bank. I've been with you for such amount of time. I like the perks you offer. I want to continue to do business with you guys. And therefore, if you notice, usually at my limit every month, I'm paying it down. and I want to do this home improvement to the house, and therefore I'm requesting this credit limit increase. And guys, most of the time, they will approve it because, again, they're looking at your history. They're seeing it where it's almost at the limit, but you're paying it down before the statement date, and they're seeing the cash flow coming in and coming out, giving you a lot odds of approval when you ask for this credit limit increase. Now, they might not give you the 10 or the 5 that you ask, but definitely they will give you something, and that's how we increase our credit limit, moving it a step higher to where we want it to be. Now, tip number 2, adding trade lines to your credit report. Add an authorized user trade line of $15,000 on your credit report to the additional 3 that you already have. Talking about the 300, the 500, and the 1,000 that I just mentioned earlier. Now your high credit limit is not 1,000 anymore. It's the 15,000 now because of the trade line we added to your credit report. So when you apply, the computer system will see a 15,000 credit card limit on your credit report, not the 1,000 that you had. Guys, you see how important this second tip is? There's so much value in this statement alone to help you guys get high credit card limits. So in this scenario, if it were me, having the 3 credit cards that I mentioned before, I have a credit card of 300, I have a credit card of 500, and the credit card of 1,000. I would use the highest credit card limit that I currently have, which would happen to be the 1,000. I'd max that thing out to 80% and bring that sucker down to 2% before the closing date. And I'm going to do this for 90 days, guys. I'm going to do this for 3 months. After that, I'm going to ask for a credit limit increase, and most likely I'm going to get it. Then after that, I'm going to add 2 authorized user trade lines to my credit report. One would most likely be a $7,000 credit limit, and the second one will be a $15,000 credit card limit. This shows progression. So this format is called a progression file. So I'm adding a trade line of 7,000 and then 15,000. So we had our credit card of 1,000. We got our credit limit increase. Now I'm adding 2 additional trade lines. I'm adding the $7,000 credit card limit authorized user trade line and adding a 15,000 credit card limit authorized user trade line. So that puts me at, I was at 1,000. I got a credit limit increase, whichever amount that may be. Now I got a 7,000 credit card authorized user trade line and a 15,000 credit card authorized user trade line. Shows progression. Once I confirm that these trade lines are reporting on my credit report, then I will go and apply to U.S. Bank. I will go to apply to Citibank, or I will go to apply to Navy Federal. Chances of getting a high credit card limit are good. No, I take that back. Chances of getting a high credit card limit is very good. My last and final tip, guys. Using the credit cards that you currently have, just by making 2 payments a month on your credit cards, will increase 60% for you to get approved for a credit line increase. I'm not talking about minimum due, guys. I'm talking about above the minimum due amounts and paying twice a month. Guys, that's a 60% approval rate to get a credit limit increase on the credit cards that you currently have. That is value, my friends. That is value. I share this information with my subscribers, my viewers. And one more other thing, guys. In general, banks will give you what you ask for or extend the amount of credit that you ask for when you show them that you can pay for it. And the tips that I've mentioned today in this video will help you achieve that goal. Guys, I hope that I've showed you value today. Remember, my goal, my passion is to show and teach everyone how credit works. I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Look at where we're at now. I think we're at 220 subscribers. Thanks to you guys. I mean, you guys are phenomenal. You guys are awesome. I can't do it without you. Guys, with your help, you're helping me grow this channel to show and teach everybody in credit education. Guys, I can't wait to see you guys next week. Take care.